Hey guys, today I have a lesson that I wanted to share with you that I've learned in life. I feel like I've learned it. Life has kind of presented this to me many different times. Just been out and about, so I got you in the car today. We got no distractions. You got me and my voice. So, uh, recently had a falling out with a friend of mine, and we have decided to go our separate ways. Just to put it to you this way, there was a girl that I was seeing, well, now like 2 years ago, for about 6 months. She pulled a 180 on me. Didn't hear from her again. Found out that he was still talking to her and they were quote unquote friends. Didn't raise an eyebrow at the time, but that was definitely a red flag and I had just missed it. I kept it kosher, whatever. And, that was that. I didn't really read into it, and I probably should have, given the circumstances. Quite a bit of time goes by, about 8 months or so. Keep in mind, my particular friend was with his now ex at the time, and then they decided to not be together, but they were still living together. It's kind of a weird situation. Don't really know why they did that. As far as what he told me, they were just being cool with each other and all this and that. Come to find out that he ended up hooking up with the girl that I was dating at the time, and they had hooked up a few times. So, that was that. I gave him an ultimatum. I let it go. I was like, okay, bro, well, don't do it again. If you value our friendship, then you will not pursue this. If this is going to turn into a thing for you two. And then not even a couple weeks go by, and then I find out that he's in a relationship with her. So I said, all right, man, I gave you the ultimatum. We are done. And that was that. I had to let him go. Funny enough, a couple months later after that had happened, he tried to get a hold of me and tell me that I was right about everything, about the kind of person that she was and is, and that he had learned the hard way. But it was no dice for me. I had completely felt disrespected, and what I hold highest for myself is to not be disrespected, and to have people in my life that aren't going to do those kinds of things to me, and treat me that way. In those kind of situations too, you guys, you have to also walk away. You don't want to associate with people that are going to treat you like that. I'd come to find out too, as time has gone by, and keep in mind I've known him for 8 years. Like, the last couple years, I'd say, is that I think I just finally realized that he was just obsessed with puss, getting puss all the time. You don't want to be friends with guys, men, I'm talking to you. You don't want to be friends with men like that are just always obsessed with getting some. They don't have anything else that they're striving for that's greater than themselves. That's a vocation that they're aiming at, a life goal per se, like really what their purpose and their calling is. It's replaced with just getting puss. That's it. You don't want people like that in your life. And guys, the other thing is that I wasn't cool with them being together, why would I? And I would have to hang out with both of them if they wanted to do things together because, I was supposed, I'd have to just be cool with it. And I did not want to go down that road. I'd have to be cool with them being a thing. And no, that's not right. You don't want that in your life. I've had friends like this in the past already do this to me. It had actually jogged my memory, this whole situation, because I actually had another friend that I knew maybe, like almost 10 years ago that was basically the same way. He was just obsessed with puss and women, and, he was talking a lot of shit behind my back too, which really sucked, Didn't find that till after the fact, but, I had to tell him off as well, That other factor that I was talking about, though, too, it also tied into where, group setting wise, I'd have to be okay with them being together, and I just wasn't cool with that. So I decided to leave that behind me as well. The other thing I wanted to say here in this video is I wanted to give you guys a bit of an allegory. People like this tend to be crabs in life, okay? So if you're in the ocean and you specifically are a shark, but you hear from your crab friends like, hey man, what's going on? They're bottom feeders. So they're gonna be doing their own thing, but they're gonna be waving at you just to come by and say hey and whatever. And so yeah, they'll keep doing that. Next thing you know, they're starting to pinch you and start to drag you down. And what happens is as you spend more time with people that are like this, that are like crabs in your life, they're going to keep taking more pieces from you until, sure enough, one day you're down just low enough with the group of crabs, because it's not just one crab, they're all down there, in a group. They're gonna finally get the best of you and finally just tear you to shreds. And you're the shark, okay? Keep that in mind. See what I'm saying? You're the shark. And then the next thing you know, you become a crab just like everybody else in that group or in that crowd in the ocean. So it's like, realize that you're a shark, okay? Or realize that you don't have to be a part of that group. You don't have to do those things. If you do, you will become like them. I mean, you get out of this life what you tolerate. I don't tolerate those things. The greatest thing that a man can do for himself is to have his own self-respect. That's one of the biggest qualities that, that's what makes men men. You need to be able to identify when you're being disrespected and to nip it in the butt. You need to be able to respect yourself. If I didn't love myself, if I didn't respect myself, I would still probably be friends with my other friend and ones from the past, and I'd still be, I'd probably be in a completely different place in life. I definitely wouldn't be doing this or anything. And this whole situation is pretty shitty. I'm not going to lie. Like, I didn't want to have to do that, but he gave me no choice. I gave him the ultimatum. He didn't believe me. He went the other way, and that just showed me the kind of person that he is. The other thing is that even when I was getting to know him about 8 years ago, he told me to never let people disrespect me, to tell them to fuck off, and to not even let him do that to me. So, yeah, that about sums it up, man. So again, the lesson is watch your peer group. Don't let them disrespect you. Make amends if you can. As the allegory goes, remember that you're a shark. If you associate with crabs, they're going to eat you alive, and then you too will become a crab just like them. Don't be a crab. Be a shark. Respect yourself, because that's one of the greatest things that a man has in his life, and that is one of the qualities that makes him a man. You need to be able to respect yourself and have people in your life that respect you and like you and love you for who you are. And that's the lesson that I've recently come across. And this has happened to me a few times. This has come in my lap a few different times in my life. And I'm, just sometimes life does that. You repeat these lessons until you learn them. And I feel like I have learned them. So with all that being said, you guys, it's good talking to you guys. These are my thoughts. This is a lesson I wanted to share with you guys. I hope that you guys learn something from what my experiences were. Again, in the end, I wish him well and his family well. I hope that he's well off and all of that. But I don't want to associate with him anymore. I don't want people like that in my life. I don't deserve that, and neither do you. So take care of yourselves, you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.